Alright, this is part 2 of setting up the webinar workshops webpage, and we've added in our list item for Finding Health Stats Online class, so that will appear on the web page up here in this list. And so the next thing that we need to do is actually add the class content to the web page. So what we need to do is go to the email and just copy all the information for that class. Head back to the HTML editor. And here's where it gets a little bit sticky. There's no real good way to do this, but we need to, I again like to put everything in order, so we'll scroll down to the Find Full Text Workshop, and I know that this Health Stats Workshop should show up right below that one. And so there's where it belongs, and we'll paste all that content that we just copied. And now we need to edit it. So we'll scroll up a little bit and start looking at things that we need to edit. The first thing that we need to edit is the anchor. So we'll make it has to match the one above in the list. That's what tells the browser to jump down on the page and stop at this particular location. We'll take a look at the paragraph about the class and edit anything that needs to be fixed in here. Here's at least one space that's not necessary. Everything else, obviously you can't change the content here. It's not yours to change, but if you've got some typos or extra spaces like we had in this one, you can make those edits. The next thing that we need to fiddle with are all the IDs. The structure that we use is no spaces, so we'll get the spaces out of the IDs, and we've got quite a few IDs to edit, so after I get one set up, I like to copy and paste. For some classes that have shorter titles, you can manually do that, but I typically find copying and pasting works the best. The next thing that we need to edit is the stuff that's on the table itself. So if I scroll down and we go back to the web page, you can see the way this is kind of a skeleton view, but our table has the date, time, instructor, and it links to attend whenever the link or the class becomes live. So then we've got that information filled out on the table. So we need to edit that because it's not quite clean yet. You can see the way the Google form works. We get our date and time in one spot, and our table requires that it's split up. And the next thing, I actually need to double check how long this class is. I think it's 45 minutes, but let's double check that. Yes, 45 minutes. Right here. So that means we're 9 o'clock to 9:45. And this structure here for the time is something that, again, it appeals to my nature, but I am a stickler about this sort of thing. I try to make sure that I use the same format every single time. This is something that, as I understand it, screen readers can understand pretty easily, so I try to code things in a way that meets our accessibility standards. So we've got the time in there. The next thing is adding the day and date, And I do not know what day June 12th is. It is a Thursday. So we'll add that in there now. Thursday, June 12th from 9 to 9:45. Emily is our instructor, and here's the link to attend. So that's the first class. We're all set there. The next class starts at noon and goes to 12:45 p.m. And that is on July 17. I'm going to have to go to my paper calendar, and that is also a Thursday. Oops. And the rest of our content here is okay. Now, because of the way I've got things set up right now, if there's only 3 sessions, there's only 3 sessions that are automatically generated for the HTML. In this case, we only have 2 classes that are actually being offered, so we've got some extraneous HTML that we can just delete. We could hide it if we wanted to, but in this case, we'll just delete it, clean things up just a little bit. But the last thing that we need to do here is add in the link for the registration form itself. So on the web page, you've got the class description, the table that has all the dates and times, and then underneath that table you have the link to register for the class. So we need to add in that link here. The code is in here, but the link for the registration form is not. And that is actually something that you can grab from your Google Doc. You have to go back and add in, let's go into the health statistics online form, not the response spreadsheet, but the form. And up here in the top right hand corner there's a blue button for send form. You click that and you get the URL for this form. So we've got that information. We come back to our HTML file, paste that link in there, and then let's click update. So that saves all of the HTML that we added. We've got some things in here that we'll need to delete, like the CINAHL class. We'll hide that, and the Health Sciences Library and stuff on the go. But now what I should see, I've got a coding problem, is our anchor didn't show up here for the class title, so I'll need to fix that. But the paragraph, the table with all the dates and times, and then the link to enroll is here. So I'll go ahead and fix that coding error that I have, and that's just about it.